to the gentleman from Hawaii whose name is not King but Case. Mr. Case, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cuellar. I appreciate that.
I see that your time has expired.
You get an extra 8 minutes on
Mr. Secretary, I want to return to a point that Mr. Cuellar for real made in his opening statement, which comes down to this basic point. We've thrown a heck of a lot of money at Homeland Security in the last few years. We started with a base budget for Homeland Security of $62 billion in FY 2025. Of course, for FY 2026, we had the exclusion of ICE and CBP at $48 billion, back to $65 billion in FY 27 as passed out by this committee over the objections of all Democrats. But most directly, $191 billion in reconciliation in 25 and another 70 in 26. For a total of $261 billion. Now, granted, that's spread out over a number of years. But the committee's concern, and I think this goes to all members of the committee, is really a failure to itemize where that reconciliation money is actually going. It's been very, very slow in all departments for us to get information on the reconciliation money. And so I'm just wanting to understand what information the department has provided to the committees of jurisdiction, both funding and authorization, on your actual utilization of the reconciliation monies. And, I asked that in the two tranches. First of all, the 191 billion. Do we have the information from you we need now to know where you're spending that money? And then the 70 billion as well, which is more recent, granted, but we still need that information to make budget decisions.
Congressman, thank you for the question. And I just got to say, honestly, you guys have a beautiful state. I hate what you guys have been through since I've been in office. You guys have had 2 trillion gallons of water dumped on your beautiful state. Earthquakes and volcanoes. And Governor Green and I have worked very closely together. I seriously think I talk to him more than I do my own governor of the state of Oklahoma. There's not a week that goes by we're not visiting. We've done pretty good about getting you funding there. It's interesting because through reconciliation, we're required by statute on what we report and what we don't report. Because we had to go through reconciliation to get funded, and it shouldn't have been that way. I would have loved to have done it through regular order because we had some substantive changes that was in the first bill that we brought up, but because we started playing politics with it, and I'm sure that wasn't you, but there was politics that's played with it because there's no excuse for not funding ICE and CBP. There's reconciliation issues that on the statute side of it, but we are trying to be as transparent with all the dollars that we spend. There's nothing that we don't want to share. We have nothing to hide. I tell all of our employees, we do stuff here. I don't do anything under the table. I understand that we were way behind on reporting from the previous secretary. We're trying to catch up on all the letters that was sent. We're trying to catch up on all the requests that was sent and some of the stuff that we're behind. We're not there yet, but I can tell you, I'll let the deputy talk about this. His office and the undersecretary's office, once it gets filled, works on this nonstop.
So the short answer is we, especially for the 191 billion, we have all the detail that's required. I did see letters coming through from this committee asking for this information. Of the 191, there's approximately 124 billion that we've actually apportioned, worked with OMB going through, and we've committed or obligated about 66 billion at this point.
And has that information been made available to us?
It will be made available. There's the reporting process that and like the Secretary said, with the delay, we've had a lot of challenges with the back office with all the delays with the shutdowns, but we'll be getting everything updated. And then within the department, we absolutely track this very carefully.
Okay, and what about the 70 billion? Is that not due to us yet?
The 70 billion obviously passed fairly recently. All the department or the two areas, ICE and CBP, are putting together their spend plans, working with OMB to get the apportionments. And once the apportionments are in place, we'll start working through the obligations that'll follow the same path that we're going through right now with the 190 billion.
Okay. One of the concerns with the 70 billion as we went through that debate was that 5 billion of that 70 billion was allocated to the Secretary's office unspecified. First of all, do you agree with that? I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And second, what exactly are the plans for the Secretary to have $5 billion to spend at his discretion?
Yeah, the $5 billion is very similar to what you saw in the $190 billion OSAM fund that we had out there for the Secretary. And it's really kind of broken up into kind of two categories between the judicial or stuff that's done non-immigration and the 2.5 that would be potentially stuff that we could do to augment stuff. And the example that I would say the Secretary's been very focused on is counter UAS. So this type of money outside of a program of record allows the Secretary the flexibility to whether, where we're only spending $40 to $60 million a year, he can go all in, set up a task force and put in, up to probably $500 to $600 million at his discretion.
And we're also doing $3.5 billion is going to ice cutters. We had one ice cutter. President Trump's initiative is get us up to actually get to 50, but we're doing 11. We're buying some of that through Section 90007, which is the Secretary's fund, replenishing some of it with the $5 billion out of this Reconciliation 2.0. This is also the way we're able to keep CBP and ICE operating during the 115-day shutdown. And then the counter UAS, we're vulnerable, extremely vulnerable. And it was extremely, it was made more apparent during our preparation for FIFA. So for the first time in history, we have all 11 stadiums covered with counter UAS. That's never happened before. In fact, none of these stadiums even had counter UAS. So this funding, because there's no line item for counter UAS in our budget, we were able to use this funding, which is a lot because we got to work with local partners and we also got to reimburse certain agencies too. So this gives us the ability to flex when we need to because of the new threats that are facing the homeland every single day that isn't always line item.
Okay, thank you. I think we all want the information on how you're spending that money very transparently. I appreciate your comment on transparency. And by the way, I don't want to let your comment on FEMA's help to Hawaii go undiscussed. We have, in fact, had major challenges, and FEMA has been very, very good. And in prior hearings with your predecessor, I commented in particular that what appeared to be a vendetta against FEMA was completely uncalled for, given what FEMA has actually done for Hawaii on the ground with 3 straight disasters in the last couple of years. So appreciate your partnership on that.
Governor Green has been very helpful in this because the way he reports to us when some governors don't, his accountability, what he says, what he gets reports in a timely manner, the way he communicates is the key to getting this done.
I'm texting him as we speak to say that you're saying nice things about him. So
don't say it. Don't publish it. I hope that isn't on.
This is published. My time is about to expire, and I'm not going to incur Mr. Cuellar's wrath. And so I'm going to list some questions for rhetorical purposes. Why does the Coast Guard need $2 billion more in the supplemental, which was submitted yesterday, number one? Will you reverse course on the cuts to CISA, which I think are penny wise and pound foolish? How much do you actually, I'm going to stop right there because I'm over time. I don't want to get in trouble.
Can I answer those real quick? I can do it real quick. So,
No, Mr. Secretary, I can make it easy for you. I am going to yield Mr. King, who some know as Mr. Case, 2 minutes of my questioning time for you to answer those 2 questions.
well, it won't take me 2 minutes. So the $2 billion supplement fund that we sent back, we've had a tremendous amount of more expense because of the threats that are facing us with the actions in Iran, plus the narco boats that we're having in. Those weren't there. The president has put a tremendous amount of emphasis on putting new cutters on the water and utilizing the Coast Guard in a way that hasn't been used before. That comes with manning power too. And so the $2 billion to stand up to meet the force needs of us moving forward, and also on some reimbursement costs that we incurred during the shutdown. So while we were shut down, DOW was paying our fuel bill because we still had missions. Our international waters, and it wasn't, they weren't patrolling themselves. And since we didn't have the funding, we had to do it. And so that's reimbursing also to the DOW and for our mission sets.
And you have
Oh,
about
and counter US, sorry. Counter US, yes. Or CISA, I mean. CISA, absolutely. Listen, CISA has very unique authorities, and we have adversaries that are attacking not just our government, but attacking our businesses every single day. And the one that has that authority to do it is CISA. It probably got a bad rap because it wasn't utilizing its authority. It was politicized for a little bit. We're hiring the best people. We're bringing in a director for CISA. We want to stand it up and be not just average. We want to be the go person for cybersecurity in the nation. That's our focus. That means we're going to hire back up. We are about half staffed what we need to be. Do we need to hire everybody back? No. Do we need to hire about 600 people back? Yes, but I don't want to put bodies in position. I want to put the talented individuals that know what they're doing and have partnerships with our state and local officials.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your forbearance, Mr. Chair.